Usually when you have a problem to fix in life, there is a clear set of steps to follow.
Right, like a guide.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like following a recipe for a cake. You gather your ingredients, you measure everything out perfectly, you set the timer, and then at the end, well, you get a cake.
You get exactly what you planned for.
Right. It is completely predictable.
Yeah.
And it's comforting, You
Yeah.
do the work, you get the result.
Yeah, that is the ideal way the world should operate. You put the effort in, and the universe hands you the exact outcome you wanted.
Exactly. But then, you actually look at life, and suddenly that recipe book is completely useless.
It really is.
And for a Virgo this April, that realization is going to hit like a freight train. So, welcome back to Horoscope TV. Today, we are looking specifically at the April astrological charts for you, our Virgo listener.
And it is a lot to look at.
It is. We're jumping straight into a month where the planets are, well, they're actively forcing you to drop the mixing bowl, stop following the old rules, and just face a very messy reality.
It really is a massive month. I mean, when we analyze the charts for April, there is this huge, unavoidable theme building up.
Which is what exactly?
It is the tension between a Virgo's natural urge to serve other people and the strict astrological demand right now to build ironclad personal boundary.
Oh, wow. Yeah, because you are known as the friend who fixes everything. Like, you are the one everyone calls when their life is falling apart.
Because you always know what to do.
Right. But looking at the charts, April is not about fixing other people. It is a month of huge ideas. Learning how to finally say no to people you love, which is hard.
Very hard.
And discovering that your most powerful moments are going to happen when you are completely alone.
Which, honestly, is very hard for a Virgo to accept. But our mission today is to walk you through exactly how this is going to happen.
Step by step.
Exactly. By taking the time to truly analyze these specific astro charts, you are going to get a very clear map for the month ahead. We are going to look closely at what is happening in your mind, how it affects your money, what is going on in your heart, and finally, how to protect your health through all of this.
I love that. This is your personal guide to winning the month. So let's start right inside your head. We need to talk about waking up the mind and finding your voice, because the way you think is about to change very quickly.
Very quickly, let us look at April 3.
Okay, April 3, what is happening there?
Well, April 3 is a beautiful start to the month. In the astrological charts, we see an event where Mercury trines Jupiter.
Okay.
And this creates a massive wave of hope, big thoughts, and a real desire to learn new things.
Okay, let's break down what that actually means mechanically. Like, what is a trine, and why do these two planets matter so much to a Virgo?
Right. Let us look at what is actually happening up in the sky. So Mercury is your ruling planet. It is the planet of the mind. It controls how fast your thoughts move and how you communicate with the world. Okay. And then Jupiter is the giant gas planet. In astrology, Jupiter is the planet of growth, luck, and making things huge.
So Jupiter takes whatever it touches and just turns up the volume.
Exactly. Makes everything bigger and louder. And a trine is an angle.
A good angle?
A very good angle. It means the two planets are 120 degrees apart in the sky. This is considered the luckiest, smoothest angle possible. They are not fighting each other at all.
Oh, nice.
They're basically sliding down the exact same water slide together. So you have your mind, which is Mercury, sliding perfectly along with growth and luck, which is Jupiter.
Oh, I love that image. So it is like waking up on a perfectly sunny day after a very long gray winter. You know that feeling?
Oh, definitely.
You make a perfect cup of coffee, you sit outside, and suddenly you just realize the exact answer to a problem that has bothered you for weeks. It just clicks.
Yes, that is exactly it. Your brain is basically working at super speed, but in a very happy, relaxed way.
Which is rare for a Virgo.
Very rare. For a Virgo, your mind is usually racing with anxiety or worry about tiny details. Like, did I leave the stove on? Did I send that email right?
Right. Constant buzzing.
But on April 3, that anxious noise just disappears. It is pure, huge clarity.
Which means this is the exact time to share your grand visions with the people you trust. Like, if you have a big idea for a project or a new way you want to live your life, do not keep it to yourself.
Speak it out loud.
Speak it out loud, yeah. But then things shift pretty fast, do they not? We move to the middle of the month. On April 15th, Mercury enters the sign of Aries.
Right. And this is a major change in tone.
Because Aries is totally different from that relaxed Jupiter energy.
Completely different. Aries is a fire sign. Think about what Aries is in the sky. It is the very first sign of the zodiac. It is the spark that starts the entire year.
So it is fast.
Very fast. It is raw, pushing forward fire. So when Mercury, again, the planet that controls the voice in your head, moves into that fire, your thoughts get much faster. But more importantly, your words become very brave.
Oh, interesting. This is where that tension we talked about earlier really starts.
Mm.
Because a Virgo is usually so polite.
So polite, almost to a fault.
Right. You are careful with your words. You always think, how will this affect the other person before you speak?
Yeah.
But Aries does not care about that. Aries just thinks, this is what I want, period.
Exactly.
So is this sudden fiery bravery going to completely shock the people around them?
Oh, it absolutely will shock people.
Really?
Yes, but we need to analyze why that happens. The fiery energy of Aries removes your polite filter. It just burns it right up. You are going to fiercely defend your personal boundaries.
Okay, but people might take that the wrong way.
They might. Which is why it is very important to understand that this is not about being mean or angry.
Right. You are not yelling at anyone.
No, not at all. You are just being completely direct. You are being honest. And people might be shocked simply because they are so used to you saying yes to every single favor they ask.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
The shock is hearing a firm no from someone who has always been their safety net.
It is the shock of a no. I love that phrase. It might feel a little uncomfortable for you at first, but it is so necessary.
It really is.
And the charts show that you will absolutely need that brave voice, because just 5 days later, things get very real. On April 20, Mercury meets Saturn.
Yes. This is a heavy transit. When we say they meet, we mean they form a conjunction. They are sharing the exact same spot in the sky from our point of view.
And Saturn is a tough one, right?
Saturn is the planet of rings. It is the planet of limits, time, and physical reality. It is basically the strict teacher of the zodiac.
So your fast, brave thoughts from Mercury suddenly hit a solid brick wall called Saturn.
Exactly. Saturn brings a very serious and highly responsible tone to your thoughts. When Mercury and Saturn meet, the daydreaming stops.
It is time to get to work.
Exactly. It is time to make solid plans and focus entirely on your long-term life goals. Saturn demands blueprints. It demands reality.
Which is an incredible sequence of events when you look at it. I mean, think about the timeline.
It's very fast.
Yeah, you go from being brave and fiery on the 15th, speaking your truth and setting boundaries, then 5 days later, you become super serious and planned out on the 20th.
Right.
It is almost like you use your brave, fiery voice on the 15th to clear the junk out of the way, so that on the 20th, you actually have the empty space to set up your serious life goals.
That is exactly how the astro data flows. You set the boundary fence first, and then you build the solid house inside that fence.
Wow, that makes perfect sense.
And all of this mental building leads right into April 26, which is a huge day for you. The moon finally enters your own sign of Virgo.
The shift back to the self.
Yes.
The moon is all about our deep emotions and what makes us feel safe. So when it moves into your sign, you become highly aware of your deep feelings in your actual physical body.
You really do.
You are going to feel a sudden, strong urge to organize your living space.
Which is funny because a lot of people stereotype Virgos as neat freaks who just love to clean.
Right, the classic stereotype.
But if we analyze the mechanics of the moon in Virgo, it is not about cleaning just to clean. It is about emotional safety. When your environment is chaotic, your nervous system feels chaotic.
It is like cleaning out a messy closet so your brain can finally relax.
Exactly.
You know that feeling when you finally sort through all those old boxes, you throw away the trash, and suddenly the room just feels lighter.
It is the best feeling.
The physical act of sorting objects is a mirror for sorting your thoughts. A calm room equals a calm mind for you right now.
It does. But we have to issue a serious warning for that exact same day, April 26.
Uh-oh. What is the warning?
Later that afternoon, Mercury squares Jupiter.
Wait, Jupiter is back. We just talked about Jupiter on April 3, the perfect cup of coffee day where everything felt hopeful and big. Are you saying Jupiter is actually dangerous here?
It can be, because a square is a difficult angle in the charts. It is a 90-degree angle.
Okay, so a trine is a water slide. What is a square?
Think of it like a blind intersection where two cars are rushing toward each other.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah, it creates friction and tension. So while Jupiter makes you feel like you have endless energy and you can do absolutely anything, this difficult angle means you're going to try to do way too much.
Ah. So the lucky planet is actually the planet most likely to make a Virgo burnout from overcommitting.
Precisely. Because you feel so good and capable, you will be tempted to organize the entire house, help a friend move across town, and start a brand new hobby all on the exact same day.
Just a normal Tuesday for a Virgo.
Right, but do not take on too many tasks. Keep your daily schedule very simple so you can stay balanced. You have to fight the urge to be a superhero for everyone else.
That is such an important warning. Just clean the one closet, leave the garage for next month.
Exactly.
Because you are already feeling all those deep emotions from the moon in your sign. You do not want to crash hard by the end of the day.
You really do not.
And speaking of schedules and tasks and trying to do too much, we really need to look at how all of this mental energy affects your career.
We do. Because that boundary setting we just saw in your personal life on the 15th and the serious planning on the 20th, that is going to be immediately tested at work.
Oh, I bet.
Let us look at stepping up at work.
Okay, so on April 20, we have that exact same event we just talked about. Mercury forming a conjunction with Saturn, the strict teacher planet. But how does this play out in the career charts?
It brings a very heavy focus to your daily duties and your career goals. Your boss is absolutely watching you.
No pressure.
Right. Saturn is the planet of rules, authority, and hard work. During this time, you must pay extremely close attention to the tiny details. This is not the time to take lazy shortcuts or just guess the numbers on a report.
Okay, I have to push back on this a little bit.
Sure.
Because if the boss is watching and Saturn is all about strict rules and limits, does this mean you should just keep your head down, stay completely quiet, and do the boring work so you do not get in trouble? Or is there a way to actually stand out without breaking the rules?
That is a really great question. What is truly interesting here is that Saturn respects heavy effort, not invisibility.
Okay.
Keeping your head down and hiding is not the goal. Doing the job with absolute undeniable excellence is the goal. You stand out by being the one person who caught the glaring error that everyone else missed.
That is classic Virgo strength right there. The eye for detail.
It is, and Saturn rewards it heavily. Proving that you are highly reliable right now when the pressure is on is what guarantees your massive success later in the year.
Oh, that makes total sense. You are not putting on a flashy song and dance in the middle of the office.
No.
You are just being undeniably good at what you do. You are the anchor.
Exactly.
And being that anchor pays off incredibly quickly, because look at what happens just 4 days later on April 24. Mercury trines Lilith.
This is a fascinating moment in the charts.
I do not think we've talked about Lilith yet.
No, we have not. Lilith is not actually a physical planet. It is a mathematical point in space. Specifically, it is the absolute farthest point of the moon's orbit around the Earth.
Okay, so what does that mean in astrology?
In astrology, Lilith represents the void. It is our raw, wild, completely unfiltered instinct. It is the part of us that refuses to be tamed.
Wow. And Mercury's making a trine to it, that easy water slide angle we talked about earlier.
Right.
So your mind and your voice suddenly have easy access to this wild, untamed power.
Exactly. It brings a strong surge of bold confidence. It gives you the total courage to speak up in meetings and fiercely defend your professional ideas.
It is honestly like putting on a superhero cape before walking into the office.
Yes.
You are just not going to let anyone ignore your value today.
Oh.
Like if someone tries to talk over you in a meeting, you are going to calmly, but very firmly, take the floor right back.
You will not even feel bad about it.
Right. You are tapping into that brave Aries energy from earlier in the month, but applying it directly to your paycheck.
And the astro data indicates this is the absolute perfect time to negotiate. Yes. If you need better working conditions, a different schedule, or if you want to present a highly creative project to the boss, do it now.
Because you have the courage.
Exactly. Your fearless communication style will earn you deep respect from your coworkers and your managers. They will see that you are not just a hard worker who catches typos. You are a leader with real vision.
But then we hit April 26th again. The trap of the impossible deadline.
Yes, we are back to Mercury squaring Jupiter. We warned you about this in your personal life with cleaning the house, but it is actually much more dangerous at work.
Why is it more dangerous at work?
Yeah.
Just because the stakes are higher.
Because of the timeline. Remember, on the 24th, you just wore the superhero cape. You defended your ideas. You feel powerful.
Right, you are riding high.
So 2 days later, when Jupiter comes in and makes everything feel huge and optimistic, you might accidentally agree to a massive deadline that you simply cannot meet.
Oh, I see. Your boss asks if you can have the entire year-end report done by Friday. And because you are riding that high, you say, sure, no problem.
Yeah.
When it is actually a huge problem, you are setting yourself up to fail.
If we analyze the mechanics of the whole month, keeping your promises is the real key to professional victory right now. Saturn, the rule maker, is still watching. If you say you will do it, you must do it. So you have to be totally realistic about your time.
It is okay to ask for help. Like, it is okay to say, I can have the first half to you by Friday and the rest by Tuesday.
Absolutely.
Setting that boundary with your boss is much better than failing to deliver. It goes back to the theme of the month. Do not destroy yourself just to serve someone else.
Exactly. Set the boundary. And if you handle this work energy correctly, if you put in the hard work and stand up for your value, it naturally leads us to look at what the charts say about your money.
Hard work should lead to a better bank account, right?
It definitely should.
So getting your money right. Let us dive into the financial charts. Right at the start of the month, on April 2, we have a full moon in the sign of Libra.
Now, a full moon always shines a bright, unavoidable light on whatever area of your chart it touches. You cannot hide from a full moon. Here, it is shining right on your personal finances and your daily budget.
Now, Libra is the sign of the scales. It is all about balance and fairness. So this is the time to balance the books. You might need to adjust your spending habits to create a better financial balance in your life.
It is a time for total clarity. You really need to pay off those small debts that are annoying you. Organize your banking files. Look at exactly what is coming in and what is going out.
Just face the numbers.
Right. A clear financial plan right at the start of the month gives you massive peace of mind. You cannot build real wealth if you do not know exactly what is in your account right now.
It is like trying to drive to a new city without checking your dashboard to see how much gas is in your car.
Exactly.
You have to check the gauge first. You might think you have enough, but the full moon forces you to actually look at the needle. And once you do that, you're perfectly set up for April 18th. This is when you turn into the financial detective.
I love that title.
Because Mercury sextiles Pluto.
Right. Now, Pluto is a fascinating planet to analyze. It is the lord of the underworld. It rules hidden depths, uncovering secrets and finding things that are buried deep in the dirt.
And a sextile is a 60-degree angle. What did that mean mechanically?
A sextile is an angle of opportunity. It is not as easy as a trine. Remember, a trine is a water slide that just pushes you along.
Right.
A sextile is like an open door. The opportunity is there, but you still have to choose to walk through it.
Okay, that makes sense.
So when your ruling planet, Mercury, forms this angle with Pluto, it gives you an incredibly sharp mind for deep financial research. But you have to actually sit down and do the looking.
This is not the day to just glance at your receipts and throw them away.
Yeah.
This is the day to dig in. You can uncover hidden ways to save money, or even discover a highly profitable new income stream that was sitting right in front of you. Your instincts are completely accurate right now.
They really are. You will easily see the flaws in a contract. You will realize you have been paying for 3 different streaming services you have not used in 6 months.
Yes. Oh my gosh, we all do that. This is the absolute perfect time to call the cable company or the phone company or your bank and negotiate a better deal on a monthly bill.
Yes, make the call.
You have that sharp detective energy from Pluto, and you will not take no for an answer. You will dig until you find the hidden savings.
And saving money by digging through your bills is great, but making sudden money out of thin air is even better.
Oh, absolutely.
Let us analyze April 24. Venus meets Uranus in the sky.
The sudden spark of luck. I love talking about Uranus. It is the wild card of the planets.
It really is. Astronomically, Uranus literally spins on its side compared to the other planets. It is completely different.
Just doing its own thing.
Right. In the astrological charts, Uranus rules surprises, sudden changes, lightning bolts, and things you simply cannot predict.
And Venus is the planet that rules love, but it also rules money, value, and nice things.
Right, so when the planet of money and value shares the exact same spot in the sky with the planet of unpredictable lightning bolts, it creates a massive spark of totally unexpected financial luck.
Okay, let us get real with this. What could this actually look like in everyday life? Like, could it be a surprising cash gift from a relative out of nowhere?
It could be.
A helpful bonus at work that you did not know was coming? Or maybe finding a brand new way to make money online that just clicks for you instantly.
It could be any of those things. The astro data just tells us that the nature of the money is sudden, fast, and completely unexpected. It is highly exciting. You will feel a rush.
Oh, I bet.
But I have to offer some expert advice here, looking at the long-term charts.
Of course, bring us back down to earth before we spend it all.
While sudden wealth is very fun, the astro data strongly suggests you must save a portion of it for the future.
Do not buy a boat.
Do not buy a boat. Do not just take that surprise bonus and blow it on an expensive dinner that same night. If you capture that lightning bolt and put it in the bank, you will end the month feeling very rich and totally secure. And for a Virgo, the feeling of quiet security is worth much more than a loud night out.
That is so true.
Yeah.
Security is the ultimate prize for you. You want to know that the foundation is solid. And once your work is respected, your boundaries are set, and your bank account is secure, you finally have the space to breathe.
You really do.
You have the mental room to focus on the heart and your closest relationships. Which brings us to the romantic charts. Dreamy love and deep passions.
The romantic charts for April are truly beautiful, but they operate very differently than the rest of the month.
How so?
Right in the middle of the month, on April 13, Mars connects with Neptune.
The soft approach. Now wait, Mars is the planet of the engine, right? It rules war, action, fighting, and raw physical energy.
Yes, Mars is very driven. It wants to push forward. But Neptune is the planet of the vast ocean. It is the planet of fog, dreams, spirituality, and soft edges.
So what happens when the planet of war runs into the planet of fog?
Mars gets completely lost in the fog, it loses its fight, it drops its weapons.
Wow.
When they connect like this, Neptune completely softens Mars. It brings a very soft, deeply caring energy to your intimate relationships. The drive to conquer or argue completely melts away. Emotional bonding becomes far more important than just physical attraction or winning an argument.
And it's much less about a wild night out at a loud club and much more about a quiet, beautiful connection.
Exactly.
If you are single, this means you might meet someone who completely understands your quiet soul, someone who does not need you to perform for them or fix their problems, but just wants to be near you.
And if you are already taken, it is a beautiful time to just hold hands, sit on the couch, and have a highly peaceful evening together. You do not need to talk to feel connected. The fog of Neptune wraps around both of you.
But when you do talk, it is going to be amazing.
Well,
Because just a few days later, on April 17, Mercury meets Neptune.
right, Mercury is your voice, meeting the planet of dreams. This is when conversations become incredibly poetic and deeply meaningful. You will be able to share your most hidden dreams with your partner without any fear of being judged. You will feel entirely safe opening up.
Okay, I have to stop you there.
What is it?
Because whenever we talk about Neptune and everything being poetic and dreamy and perfect, it sounds almost too perfect. Like a movie where the lighting is just right and the dialogue is flawless. Is there a catch here? Because real life is usually not a movie.
That is an excellent observation. And yes, if we analyze the charts, there is always a catch with Neptune.
I knew it.
Because Neptune rules beautiful dreams, it also rules heavy illusions. Think about looking at something through a thick fog. It might look like a beautiful castle, but it is actually just a rock.
Oh, wow.
You must make sure you are seeing your partner clearly and not just creating a perfect fantasy of them in your head. So you might be ignoring massive red flags because you are so swept up in the poetry of it all. You hear what you want to hear.
Exactly. You project your own beautiful feelings onto them, assuming they feel the exact same way or have the exact same goals for the future. The key here is honest talks.
Right.
You have to use that brave communication we talked about earlier in the month with Aries. Use that direct honesty to build a lasting foundation, not just a fantasy castle in the clouds. Check in with reality.
Because if you do the honest work and you clear away the fog, the payoff at the end of the month is huge. On April 28th, Venus trines Pluto.
This is a massive wave of intense, changing passion. We talked about Pluto earlier as the lord of the underworld, digging up secrets for money.
Right.
But in love, Pluto takes things deep into the soul. It burns away the old to bring in the new. It is about an ending and a new beginning.
And a trine from Venus, the planet of love, means this heavy change is positive and smooth. It is not painful. Correct. It is a smooth, incredibly powerful change. You can completely renew your romantic bond and finally overcome past trust issues that have been dragging you down for years.
It is like finally breaking through a heavy stone wall that has been sitting between you and your partner for months. The wall just crumbles.
It really does.
If you're dating someone new, this is the exact moment it takes a totally serious turn. It goes to a deeper level of commitment. You're going to end the month feeling deeply loved and totally secure in your heart.
But experiencing all this intense emotional passion, working so hard at your job to impress your boss, and doing all this deep mental boundary setting is a massive amount of output.
Oh yeah, you are going to be exhausted.
Your physical body is going to need some serious care to keep up with all of this.
Which brings us to taking care of the physical body, because a Virgo will very often completely ignore their own health to take care of someone else's. So let us look at April 10th. The moon enters Aquarius.
When the moon, which rules what makes your body feel safe and comfortable, enters the sign of Aquarius, it brings a strong desire to completely change your normal routines.
Because Aquarius is the weird one.
Aquarius is the rebel of the zodiac. It is the water bearer who pours things out and starts over. It rules new ideas, technology, and doing things differently just for the sake of being different.
You are going to feel a huge urge to completely shake up your fitness routine.
Yes, if you normally just walk on the exact same treadmill for 30 minutes every Tuesday, this is the day you will completely hate the treadmill. You will refuse to get on it. You need to trade it in for something new.
Maybe downloading a fun new health tracking app on your phone, since Aquarius rules technology. Or trying a totally unique exercise class, like aerial yoga, rock climbing, or kickboxing. Something that shocks the system.
The astro data clearly shows that keeping your workouts mentally stimulating is the only way you will stay motivated this month. For you right now, variety is the absolute secret to staying committed. If your active brain is bored, your physical body will flat out refuse to do the work.
That makes so much sense. You need to trick your busy brain into having fun so your body actually gets the workout.
Exactly.
But speaking of that busy brain, we have a major burnout warning on April 20.
This is a critical moment. On April 20, Mercury meets Mars. We talked about Mars being action, war, and raw energy. Mercury is your mind.
So what happens when the planet of the mind connects directly with the planet of war?
Your thoughts will race incredibly fast. It is like plugging a standard 120-volt household appliance into a massive 240-volt industrial power outlet.
Oh, that sounds bad.
The machine runs incredibly fast and loud for about 10 seconds, and then the motor completely burns out and smokes. You will feel totally restless, like you cannot sit still, but you also cannot focus on just one thing because there is too much power running through the wires.
And because Virgos are naturally prone to worrying about tiny details anyway, this fiery planet combination easily magnifies your daily stress. You're going to overthink everything at warp speed. It can absolutely lead to complete mental and physical burnout if you are not careful.
This is why you must force yourself to step away from your heavy workload on this day. The charts show that deep rest is absolutely critical to maintaining your physical health. You cannot just power through this transit. You have to unplug the machine.
This is the time to actively practice deep breathing. When you feel that restless electric energy creeping up, stop what you are doing. Close your eyes, take a long breath in, let it out slowly. You literally have to tell your physical body to calm down.
And the good news is you will get a massive cosmic helping hand with that relaxation just a few days later. On April 26, Venus sextiles Neptune.
The ultimate rest. Venus brings physical pleasure, Neptune brings that soft, foggy healing. It is beautiful, quiet energy. It is the absolute perfect time for highly relaxing wellness activities.
But what does that actually look like for a Virgo who usually has a very hard time stopping? Because doing nothing is stressful for this sign.
It looks like forcing yourself to do the nice things you usually say you do not have time for. Draw a long, warm bath and actually stay in it for more than 5 minutes. Book a soothing massage and let someone else do the work. Or just take a peaceful walk in a quiet garden without listening to anything or looking at your phone.
Allowing yourself to do absolutely nothing is the hardest thing for a Virgo to learn, but right now it is the best medicine. You have to let your physical body recharge. The boundaries we talked about setting with other people, you need to set them with your own schedule too.
Okay, so as you move through this incredibly busy month, dealing with work, money, love, and your health, who is going to actually help you and who's going to drive you totally crazy? Let us look at your cosmic friends, foes, and lucky details for April.
The astro data gives us very exact answers here based on how different signs interact with your charts this month. Let us start with your best match for the month. It is Pisces.
Pisces. The fish. That is the exact opposite sign on the zodiac wheel from Virgo. Why are they the perfect match right now?
Opposites attract for a reason. Pisces brings a very soft, healing, watery energy that perfectly calms your anxious, earthy mind. If we analyze how the two of you operate, you handle the practical details of life. You handle the schedules, the bills, the solid plans.
Right, the stuff that keeps life moving.
Pisces completely ignores those things, but they provide the beautiful imagination, the deep empathy, and the emotional softness. Together, you make a complete system.
It is the perfect balance, and the dates really line up for this connection too. On April 3, when you have that big wave of hope from Jupiter, communication with the Pisces is incredibly uplifting. They match your big thoughts with their big dreams.
Then on April 13, when the romantic energy is very soft with Neptune, their gentle approach is exactly what helps you relax and forget your daily worries. They remind you that it is okay to just float for a while.
Oh, that sounds so nice.
And on April 17, when conversations turn poetic, Your talks with the Pisces will easily reach a very deep spiritual level. They understand the fog.
Basically, you offer them the solid structure they desperately need so they do not float away into space, and they offer you the unconditional love you secretly desire so you do not get totally worn out from working so hard. Spending quiet time with a Pisces will easily be the best part of your month.
However, there is an energy you need to be very careful around this month. Your worst match in April is Gemini.
Oh boy, Gemini energy. Now, Gemini is also ruled by Mercury, just like Virgo. But Gemini is an air sign, while Virgo is Earth. So Gemini energy is fast, talkative, and everywhere all at once. It is completely scattered.
Very scattered.
And that scattered energy will drive a Virgo absolutely crazy.
You need clear order. You need plans that stay the same once they are made. Gemini changes the rules every 5 minutes simply because they are bored and want to see what happens. Let us look at the exact dates where this conflict happens.
Right. On April 15, when your own words are braid and fast from Aries, Gemini's blunt and impulsive words will easily offend your polite nature. They speak before they think, just throwing ideas into the wind, and you analyze everything. It is a recipe for a huge argument.
And on April 20, when you are trying to be highly serious and make solid life plans with Saturn, Gemini will just want to joke around and completely avoid any real responsibility. You will feel like you absolutely cannot trust them to handle important tasks, which will make you feel like you have to do all the work yourself.
And it gets worse on April 24. When you are feeling bold at work, Gemini energy becomes very social and flirty, bouncing around the room, which might actually make you feel totally unappreciated or ignored by them. Your ways of handling life right now are just completely different. They want to play, you want to build. It will only lead to constant bickering.
It is highly advised to avoid working with a Gemini on anything serious right now. If you have a group project, do not rely on them for the critical details. Keep things light, say hello, and move on.
Good advice. Keep your distance from the chaos. Now let us grab a pen, because we have some very specific lucky details for you to keep track of this month. These are little markers to watch for. Your lucky color for April is navy. And I mean a specific navy. The exact color code is #000080.
That specific deep blue is very grounding. It has a very heavy, calming frequency.
It is like looking into a deep, dark, calming ocean. Wearing that color, or maybe making it the background on your phone or having it around your desk, will really help steady your racing mind when things get too fast.
And we also have your best dates for the month. Circle April 13 and April 26 on your calendar.
Remind us exactly why those days are so special.
April 13 is when Mars connects with Neptune, bringing you that deeply caring, soft, romantic energy where the fighting stops. And April 26 is the day Venus connects with Neptune for ultimate physical rest and healing wellness. Those are your sanctuary days. You are safe on those days.
Sanctuary days. I love that so much. And finally, your lucky numbers to watch out for all month are 5, 16, 28, 32, 44, and 58. Keep an eye out for them. Maybe they show up on a grocery receipt or a flight number, or even in that sudden financial luck we talked about on the 24th.
They are small markers in the daily chart that show the energy of the universe is flowing directly in your favor. When you see them, take a breath and know you are on the right path.
Well, looking back at everything we have talked about today, April is truly a massive turning point. It is a month where you are going to finally speak your brave truth at work and stand up for your ideas. You might find some totally sudden lucky money by digging into the details. You get to enjoy this dreamy, poetic romance, especially if you have a Pisces nearby to help you float. And most importantly, you're going to learn that true health means knowing exactly when to pull the plug, stop working, and just rest.
It is an incredible amount of growth. And I want to leave you with one final thought to mull over as you move into the month. We have talked a lot today about how you are going to set boundaries, protect your space, and finally stop working yourself to the bone just to fix other people's problems.
Right.
But if we analyze the psychology of your charts, this raises a very tough question. What if your constant, exhausting urge to fix everyone else's life has never actually been about helping them? What if fixing other people is just a very clever defense mechanism you use to avoid looking at the cracks in your own foundation?
Wow. Are you helping them, or are you just distracting yourself from your own healing? That is heavy. That completely changes how you look at the urge to serve. If you put down their heavy bags, you finally have to look at your own hands. That is something you are really going to have to sit with this month.
Thank you so much for spending your time with us today and listening to the episode on Horoscope TV. We love exploring these charts with you and helping you navigate the stars.
We truly appreciate you sharing your time with us. It is always a pleasure to analyze the journey with you. Make sure you subscribe to Horoscope TV so you can get notified the exact moment the next episode is available. Until then, protect your peace, wear your superhero cape when you need it, and remember to rest.